So, the objective of this video is to convert units of measure between different measuring systems and also within the measuring system. There are two different measuring systems commonly used throughout the world. There is a US customary, which is foot, pound, inch, miles, acres, teaspoons, cups, pint, gallon. And then there's metric. Metric makes sense. US customary doesn't. In fact, it started off as British units, and the British decided they didn't like it and went with the metric. So I don't know why we're sticking around with it, but foot was originally figured out because of the length of some king's foot. Teaspoon came together because it was the size of your regular teaspoon. Things like that, it just came about because those are the regular sizes of things, and they went with it. Whereas metric all has a scientific basis for it. The meter, the kilometer, the gram, the kilogram, the milligram, the liter or milliliter, all of that has some scientific basis. We're going to be learning about dimensional analysis in this. Now, everyone hears this dimensional analysis and starts tuning out. Don't tune out. It's also known as unit cancellation. It's not as bad as you may think, and it can really help you in math and in science when you think about it, converting things this way. What you're going to end up doing is you're multiplying your given number by a fraction. I know, hold on. I know you hate fractions, but you got to look at it this way. Look, multiply a fraction or multiple fractions that will cancel out units you don't want and introduce the units you do want. Speaking about canceling out stuff, if you remember, there was some cross-canceling you used to be able to do when you were given fractions being multiplied. When fractions are being multiplied, this is like saying 4 over 1 saying 4 over 1, we could actually cancel out any number that was a common number in the diagonal there. So this 4 and 4 could cancel out, which means this would be 1, this would be 1, I get 3 over 1. So when I multiply 4 times 3/4, I end up getting just that top number. Over here I could cross cancel the 5s. I could also do some cross-canceling in this direction. Not so important for our dimensional analysis, but you can do this because there is a common factor of 2. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8 4 times. You end up with 1 times 1 is 1, 4 times 1 is 4, you end up with 1/4. So when we multiply something that's minutes, and we multiply it by something that's seconds over minutes, the minutes will cancel and we'll be left with just seconds. So we're looking to set up our fractions so that the units we want are on the top, the units we want to get rid of are going to be on the bottom. Here we're asked to convert 7,920 feet into miles. On the FCAT reference sheet, it says 1 mile equals 1,760 yards, which is 5,280 feet. Which means that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Don't let that middle part fool you. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So how are we going to convert this? Well, I said we need to multiply by a fraction. So we're going to take our 7,920 feet. We're going to multiply that by a fraction that has feet on the bottom and miles on the top. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. These two are equal. So 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. When I multiply these, I'm multiplying by 1. I'm actually multiplying by 1. It'll get rid of everything here, while keeping this the same value. However, it's going to change it from feet to miles. Now, when you multiply this, you're going to end up with the 7,920 over 5,280. What you're going to be left with, though, because the feet are going to cancel, you're going to be left with just miles. You do that division, 7,920, you do that divided by 5,280, and you're going to get 1.5 miles. What about the other direction? What about if you're going from small to big? Same thing will work. Here, we're going to have to do a little bit extra here because we don't have a conversion from inches to miles. We have feet to miles, and we should know how many inches there are in a foot. So we know we're going to have to convert these inches into something that has miles at the end here. So we're going to have to do something with feet. Well, yeah, we're going to convert feet to inches. We want to get the feet here first, and we want to get rid of the inches. I know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. I also want to multiply by something that's going to have miles on top and feet on the bottom to get rid of the feet that I've now introduced. So we know that 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. Multiply this times the ones, the top ends up being 316,800. The inches will cancel, the feet will cancel. I still have to do the 12 times the 5,280 on the bottom here. And that's going to give me 63,360. Do this divided by this, and I end up with 5 miles. Again, the way you want to set it up, you want to set it up so that you're canceling out the units you want to get rid of. So if you're starting off with inches, you want to have the inches in the bottom. If you want to end up with miles, you want the miles to be on the top. Whatever you want to have that on the top. Whatever you want to get rid of, you want to have that on the bottom. All right, 3 pints equals how many cups? We're told on the FCAT reference sheet that 1 pint equals 2 cups. So we're multiplying 3 pints times something that has pints on the bottom and cups on the top. 1 pint, 2 cups. 1 pint, 2 cups. When you multiply these, the pints will cancel, and you're left with 3 times 2, which is 6 cups. The other direction, if we were given 16 cups, and we're asked to find how many pints, we'd be multiplying by something that has cups on the bottom and pints on the top. 2 cups, 1 pint. 16 times 1 is 16. Cups will cancel. So you're left with 16 pints divided by, well, this is like saying over 1 here. 1 times 2 is 2. 16 divided by 2 is going to give me 8 pints. So yes, in the end, this works out to be a division problem. But if you think of it as multiplying fractions, it'll make it much simpler for you. I know we all hate fractions, but trust me, it'll work out simpler if you think of it as multiplying by a fraction. Grams to milligrams. We have 3 grams, and we're asked to convert that to milligrams. So we want to multiply something that has milligrams on top, mg for milligrams, and grams on the bottom. 1 gram, if you look at the FCAT reference sheet, 1 gram is going to be equal to 1,000 milligrams. So we multiply 3 times 1,000. We get 3,000. The grams, as you can see, are going to cancel. And you're going to be left with 3,000 milligrams. Remember, mg stands for milligrams. It's a shorter version of it. 2,500 meters equals how many kilometers? 2,500 meters times something that has meters on the bottom, kilometers on top. 1 meter, according to the FCAT reference sheet, 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. 1 kilometer, 1,000 meters. So we're going to multiply here, we end up getting 2,500 kilometers over 1,000. You do the dividing, you end up getting 2.5 kilometers. What about converting customary to metric? You're still going to be doing the same dimensional analysis here. You're going to be multiplying conversion, although technically, since the FCAT reference sheet does give you conversions in both directions, you're going to want, even though it is working the same way, you're going to want to work with the multiplying number, not the one that's going to have the number on the bottom. We'll see what I'm talking about a little more in class, but let's try with this 8 inches here. 8 inches equals how many centimeters? Well, we're told that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters, and that 1 centimeter is equal to 0.39 inches. What I'm saying here is we want to work with the one that we can multiply not by the 1 over, but by the 2.54 over 1 kind of thing. We want to end up with the bigger number being multiplied. We don't want to divide by a decimal. So in this case, since we're going from inches, we're given inches, we're going to multiply by the 2.54 because 8 inches times 2.54 centimeters per 1 inch. You'll see when I multiply these, I'm just going to do the 8 times that 2.54. And when I do that, I'm going to get 20.32 centimeters. So looking at this, which is larger, the centimeter or the inch? Well, 8 inches was 20 centimeters. That must mean that the centimeter is smaller than the inch. This also proves that 1 centimeter equals a fraction of an inch. So the centimeter is going to be smaller than the inch. If you work it out with this fraction, when you work it out with the dimensional analysis using this one instead of this one, you are going to get a similar answer. You're going to do 8 inches times the 1 centimeter over 0.39 inches. In this case, you see you're going to end up dividing 8 by 0.39. And when you do that, you're going to get 20.51 inches. Doesn't work out to be exactly the same. That's because these conversions are approximate. They're not actual 100% accurate. They have to go out to far more decimal places. So they are approximate values. So there will be some issues when converting between the two. So I would stick, when you can, with the one we're going to end up multiplying by the number rather than dividing by a decimal. Take a moment, pause the video, do these you-dos. Welcome back. 4.25 kilograms is equal to how many pounds? Well, for that, we need to convert kilograms to pounds. And we want to have, let's see here, on the FCAT reference sheet, down here it says 1 kilogram is equal to 2.204 pounds. So we're going to take the 425 kilograms, multiply that by, well, I want the kilograms on the bottom, right? So the kilograms, that's 1 kilogram. We're going to multiply by the kilogram on the bottom and the 2.204 pounds on the top. LB stands for pounds. We do that multiplying. And we get 9.367 kilograms. Oh, sorry, not kilograms. We just converted. Kilograms disappear. We got LB, pounds. 4 gallons is how many quarts? On the FCAT reference sheet, it says that 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts. So 4 gallons times something that has gallons on the bottom and quarts on the top. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. 4 times 4 is 16. The gallons cancel out. You're left with 16 quarts. 24 hours is equal to how many minutes? Well, on the FCAT reference sheet, it tells you that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So we're going to multiply 24 hours times something that has hours on the bottom, minutes on the top. 1 hour, 60 minutes. Hours cancel. 24 times 60 is 1,440 minutes. So in one day, there is 1,440 minutes. See you in class.